So that's done. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshorunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishnapreshthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadhi Paschatya Deshatarine. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. So we are doing the summary of entire fifth canto, and so we have completed the summaries of 23 chapters so far. And today we will try and cover chapter 24, 25, 26, last three chapters of the fifth canto. And Krishna willing, then Krishna willing, from next week onwards, we will begin sixth canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, with the famous story of Ajamil. That will be next week onwards. Okay, so if you are in a position to read today, please raise your hand, then we can read a little bit. And then I can show you some pictures as well. Yes, Bhuneshwari Mataji, that's good. Right. So this chapter is entitled, chapter 24 is entitled Subterranean Heavenly Planets. So if you can read Bhuneshwari Mataji, I will stop where necessary from text 1.
Okay, Hare Krishna. Text 1. Sri Sukdev Goswami said, "My dear king, some historians, the speakers of the Puranas, say that 10,000 yojanas, 80,000 miles, below the sun is the planet known as Rahu, which moves like one of the stars. The presiding deity of that planet, who is the son of Shimhika, is the most abominable of all asuras. But although he is completely unfit to assume the position of a demigod or planetary deity, he has achieved that position by the grace of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Later I shall speak further about him." Text 2. The sun globe, which is a source of heat, extends for 10,000 yojanas, 80,000 miles. The moon extends for 20,000 yojanas, 160,000 miles. And Rahu extends for 30,000 yojanas, 240,000 miles. Formerly, when nectar was being distributed, Rahu tried to create dissension between the sun and moon by interposing himself between them. Rahu is inimical towards both the sun and the moon, and therefore he always tries to cover the sunshine and moonshine on the dark moon day and full moon night. Text 3. After hearing from the sun and moon demigods about Rahu's attack, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Vishnu, engages his disc, known as the Sudarshan Chakra, to protect them. The Sudarshan Chakra is the Lord's most beloved devotee and is favored by the Lord. The intense heat of his effulgence, meant for killing non-Vaishnavas, is unbearable to Rahu, and he therefore flees in fear of it. During the time Rahu disturbs the sun or moon, there occurs what people commonly know as an eclipse. Text 4. Below Rahu by 10,000 yojanas, that is 80,000 miles, are the planets known as Siddhalok, Charanalok, and Vidyadharlok. Text 5. Beneath Vidyadharlok, Charanalok, and Siddhalok is in the sky called Antariksha are the places for enjoyment for the Yakshas, Rakshasas, Pisachas, ghosts, and so on. Antariksha extends as far as the wind blows and the clouds float in the sky. Above this, there is no more air. Text 6. Below the abodes of the Yakshas and Rakshas by a distance of 100 yojanas, 800 miles, is the planet Earth. Its upper limits extend as high as swans, hawks, eagles, and similar large birds can fly. Text 7. My dear king, beneath this earth are 7 other planets known as Atal, Vital, Sutala, Talatal, Mahatal, Rasatal, and Patal. I have already explained the situation of the planetary systems of Earth. The width and length of the 7 lower planetary systems are calculated to be exactly the same as those of Earth. Text 8. In these 7 planetary systems, which are also known as the subterranean heavens, Bil Swarga, there are very beautiful houses, gardens, and places of sense enjoyment, which are even more opulent than those in the higher planets, because the demons have a very high standard of sensual pleasure, wealth, and influence. Most of the residents of these planets, who are known as Daityas, Danavas, and Nagas, live as householders. Their wives, children, friends, and society are all fully engaged in illusory material happiness. The sense enjoyment of the demigods is sometimes disturbed, but the residents of these planets enjoy life without disturbances. Thus, they are understood to be very attached to illusory happiness. Text 9. My dear king, in the imitation heavens known as Bil Swarga, there is a great demon named Maya Danava, who is an expert artist and architect. He has constructed many brilliantly decorated cities. There are many wonderful houses, walls, gates, assembly houses, temples, yards, and temple compounds, as well as many hotels serving as residential quarters for foreigners. The houses for the leaders of these planets are constructed with the most valuable jewels, and they're always crowded with living entities known as Nagas and Asuras, as well as many pigeons, parrots, and similar birds. All in all, these imitation heavenly cities are most beautifully situated and attractively decorated. Text 10. The parks and gardens in the artificial heavens surpass in beauty those of the upper heavenly planets. The trees in those gardens, embraced by creepers, bend with a heavy burden of twigs with fruits and flowers, and therefore they appear extraordinarily beautiful. That beauty could attract anyone and make his mind fully blossom in the pleasure of sense gratification. There are many lakes and reservoirs with clear, transparent water, agitated by jumping fish, and decorated with many flowers such as lilies, kuvalayas, kahalaras, and blue and red lotuses. Pairs of chakravakas and many other water birds nest in the lakes and always enjoy in a happy mood, making sweet, pleasing vibrations that are very satisfying and conducive to enjoyment of the senses. Text 11. Since there's no sunshine in those subterranean planets, time is not divided into days and nights, and consequently fear produced by time does not exist. Text 12. Many great serpents reside there with gems on their hoods, and the effulgence of these gems dissipates the darkness in all directions. Text 13. Since the residents of these planets drink and bathe in juices and elixirs made from wonderful herbs, they are freed from all anxieties and physical diseases. They have no experience of gray hair, wrinkles, or invalidity. Their bodily lusters do not fade. Their perspiration does not cause a bad smell, and they are not troubled by fatigue or by lack of energy or enthusiasm due to old age. Text 14. They live very auspiciously and do not fear death from anything but that's established time, which is the effulgence of the Sudarshan Chakra of the Supreme Personality of Godhead.
Yeah, we'll stop there. We'll stop there, Mata.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mataji. So, let me share some screens. Purna Mataji, you have a question or you wanted to read?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. I'll read, Prabhuji.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. Let me share the screen and then can come back. Okay, so in the previous chapters, we had seen the Shishumara arrangements, the planets from pole star, till Bhumandala, the location of the arrangement and their location of various planets um, looks like Shishumara. Prabhupada translated it as dolphin. So we had discussed that. So after discuss, this is how various, planets are arranged. So this is also called Virat Rupa or universal form. This is the arrangement of various planets. Takes the shape of this dolphin upside down. So sometimes the yogis worship this, meditate on this form of the Lord. And it is a bona fide, worship. And then, so we talked about, let's see here. So what this one describes in the today's chapter, we are talking about the vertical structure of the universe. So it says that below the sun, you have 10,000 yojanas below the sun, you have Rahu, has been described. This because of this Rahu, planet Rahu. Rahu is mentioned. We all know the story of turning up milk ocean. They disguised themselves as demigods to drink the nectar. However, this Rahu and Ketu were spotted by moon and sun and moon, and so they notified the Supreme Lord, and the Supreme Lord with his Sudarshan disc severed the heads of this Rahu and Ketu. We know that because the nectar had touched the head, it remained alive, and so it occupied, the planetary position. And so this Rahu comes in between, in between Earth and Sun, and Earth and Moon, and that's how the eclipses occur. But as soon as the eclipse starts, I think Prabhupada mentioned that it is not usually more than 40 minutes maximum, because so it can only block the rays of sun or moon only for 40 minutes maximum. Sometimes it's very little. So as soon as because he is inimical to sun and moon, this Rahu tries to, block their rays. And so it affects only certain part of the earth, not entire part of the earth. But as soon as he tries to block, Lord sends his Sudarshan disc, and then Rahu runs away. Basically, all these are planets rotating, yes, in the anti-clockwise, above Bhumandala, you can see. So then, so this is what, let me show you. So this is what's been described today. So, so below, so sun is part of Divya Swarga, heavenly. It's called, so it is called Divya Swarga. It's heaven, and below the sun you have Bhuvarloka, and in Bhuvarloka there are places of enjoyment for yakshas, rakshasas, and pishashas, ghosts, etc. Rahu's location is also there. There are places for siddhas, charanas, vidyadharas, So this is is Bhuvarloka. Bhuvarloka. Bhuvarloka is above Bhuloka. So basically, there are various places mentioned in the vertical structure. So below the sun, you have we have Rahu, and then you also have places for yakshas, rakshasas, pishasas, and there are places for siddhas, charanas, vidyadharas within the Bhuvarloka. This is above Bhuloka. Hmm. Uh, then it is mentioned, so we know after Bhuvarloka, then you have Bhuloka, or in the Bhuloka, we have Bhumandala, we have studied in detail, if you remember well. The Bhumandala, horizontal structure of the Bhumandala, we studied well. How the Bhumandala has been divided into 7 islands and 7 oceans, and we studied quite a bit about the island located in the center, Jambudvipa. We studied in detail, and we also studied the other islands and various divisions within those islands. This is the vertical structure of the Bhumandala, sorry, horizontal structure of the Bhumandala. Hmm. So below Bhuvarloka, you have Bhuloka. Bhuloka consists of Antariksha, the outer space, and the Bhumandala. So we studied in detail about the structure of the Bhumandala. So below Bhumandala, then you have these lower planetary system. This is where Daityas, Danavas, Nagas, they live in hollow cavities of the earth. I will show you the picture. This is also called Bilasvarga, or subterranean heavenly planets. So then, within the Bhuman, below you have Mount Meru, 16,000 within the Bhumandala, and then below that you have Atala, and below that Vitala, then like that Sutala, Talatala, Mahatala, Rasatala, Patala. This is the vertical structure we are studying, right? From the sun. So these are all, so you have below the sun. Sun is part of Divya Swarga, heaven. And then below that you have Bhuvarloka, and in Bhuvarloka there are Rahu is there. There are places for Siddhas, Charanas, Yakshas, and then below Bhuvarloka you have Bhumandala, and then below Bhumandala you have this Bilasvarka. We'll show you the picture. And then you also have Pitruloka. This is where Yamaraj lives. And then 28 hellish planets are mentioned. So let me show the picture. So this is how it looks. The Bilasvarga. They are the various layers of the Bhumandala. Yeah, they're part of the Bhumandala. So there are various layers. This is how it looks like. You can see. So there are different pictures. So this is the lower planetary system, but this picture doesn't show. Actually, these are the layers. They are hollow cavities within this Bhumandala. That's how thick the Bhumandala is. This Bhumandala is held by Sankarshan, right? So the dimensions are also given. So beneath this Bhumandala, 16,000 yojanas is the lower part of the Mount Sumeru. Mount Sumeru is 100,000 yojanas long. Out of 100,000 yojanas, 84,000 yojanas is above the ground, and the remaining 16,000 yojanas below the ground. So then these planets, you can see they each consists of 10,000 yojanas, and there is a gap. So the depth of Atala, say for example, is 10,000 yojanas, and there is a gap of 500 yojanas. Then you have Vitala. Again, it is also the depth of that is 10,000 yojanas, right? Like that. So each, there is a gap, 500 yojanas between these subterranean planets. At the end, you have Patala, but below Patala, there is here somewhere, you have 28 hellish planets. Actually, we will see later on, Shukadeva Goswami mentioned there are hundreds and thousands of hellish planets, but he describes only 28 hellish planets there. So they are, the distance from the earth is 99,000 yojanas. The distance from here to the hellish planets is 99,000 yojanas. You have to multiply with 8 to get into the miles. And from earth to here, it only takes a few moments. When a person leaves, when one leaves his one's body, if they are taken to the court of Yamaraj, it only takes few moments. I was calculating. So usually, if you travel from here to here, it might take some 24 in airplane. If you go 24 days or something like that. But they have the system that the servants of Lord Yama can take you from here to there in a few moments time. Okay, so then this entire Bhumandala is held on top of Lord Shesha. Is also called Sankarshan. So that I'll show you. This picture you can see here. You can't see. This is the hood, but here you can see. Yes. So he holds the Bhumandala, not the entire universe. Entire universe is being floated on Karana ocean, right? We know that from the pores, skin pores of Mahavishnu, these universes come and they float on Karana ocean, and so this universe is floating on Karana ocean, and within the universe, this Bhumandala. So this Bhumandala consists of Bhuloka, the surface. The surface is called Bhuloka, and within on that surface there are 7 divisions horizontally, 7 islands and 7 oceans, and within that Bhumandala, it is such a deep in thickness, and in that Bhumandala, within that Bhumandala, you have subterranean planets. Then you have Pitruloka, where Yamaraj lives. There are yellowish planets. And all this Bhumandala is held on the hoods of Ananta Shesha. So before we go to Manjuradha Mataji, this is how the various rings looks like. And then, so within these planets, say Atala is ruled by demon Bala, son of Mayadanava. And in Vitala, Lord Shiva lives with his wife. Sutala is very famous, we all know. Bali Maharaj lives. Son of Virochana, grandson of Prahlad Maharaj, he lives there in Sutala. We know that when Vamandev, begged for 3 steps of land, so Vamandev pushed him, sent him to Sutala Loka. This Bali Maharaj represents he represents Atmanivedanam, completely surrendering oneself to the Lord. He gave himself to the Lord. I am yours, my Lord. You do whatever you like. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, isn't it? I'm yours. You do what you like, uh, like this. So, but in Sutala, um, so Prahlad Maharaj also there to accompany Bali Maharaj. Um, and it is mentioned in this particular chapter that Vaman Dev is acting as a gatekeeper. Lord Vishnu is acting as a gatekeeper of Bali Maharaj here. And in Talatala, this is ruled by Maya, the king of Dhanavas. And in Mahatala, abode of many hooded snakes, headed by Taksha, descendants of Kadru. And in Rasatala, abode of uh, Panis, means snakes, descendant of Diti, Dhanu, Naivatra Kavachas, Kalayas, etc. In Patala, the residents of the leaders of many hooded Nagas. So in the Bilaswarga, there is sun. Sun doesn't pass, right? Sun only passes, you see. It's only there on the surface of the earth. Then it from the surface of the earth it goes until Dhruvaloka, right? So surface of the earth until Dhruvaloka. That's it. That means he basically is illuminating Bhuloka, the surface of the Bhumandala, that is called Bhuloka, and then Bhuvarloka. Bhuvarloka consists of Rahu, planets for Siddhas, Yakshas, Pishashas, etc. That's Bhuvarloka. Ghosts also lives in Bhuvarloka. Bhuloka, then Bhuvarloka, then Swargaloka or heaven. From beginning from sun, moon, so many other planets. So you will see this picture here. This is it. Sun, moon, constellation, then Venus, Mercury, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, the Saptarushi Mandal, in English it is called the Big Dipper. Then you have pole star. That's it. The sun rays, goes until pole star. That's it. And sun rays doesn't pass through pass below the Bhumandala. And that's why the subterranean heavenly planets, the Bilaswarga, the lower planets within the cavities of Bhumandala, there is no sunlight, but they get light from these jewels, which are like, which like many hooded nagas, they have these wonderful jewels and they shed this illumination, and there is continuous light. Night and day are not separated, so their enjoyment, does not disturb. But Sudarshan disk comes and scares them as well. That is the point that's mentioned. So this is about the vertical structure of the universe. So Manjurada Mataji, have you had any questions? You seem to have raised your hand.
Prabhu, I've got two questions. I'll start with the first one. We, as humans, we seem to be trapped between Daityas and Danavas below, and all these Yakshas, Rakshas, ghosts at the top. Now, we don't enter into their region anytime. Do they keep entering where we are on the earth? Because the Danavas can come from below, Yakshas, Rakshas, ghosts can come down from above. So, do we get interference from them, or we are not aware?
See, Prabhupada mentioned several times the pishachas, ghosts can come into. Ghosts can come into, but ghosts will, they don't have the grass body. They can enter into the bodies of others. But however, when we chant the holy names of the Lord, they will not come there. Many times, actually, in one place I remember well, you know, it was, one house was, haunted by ghost. Prabhupada, rented that somewhere I hired, actually. So then he kept on chanting, and nobody rented that house because everybody knew that there was, it was haunted by the ghost. And Prabhupada chanted there, lived there, and it ran away completely. And many times I remember in other place also, one house and one house was again haunted by the ghost, and devotees went there and they did Sankirtan for some time, 2 hours, and it ran away. And if you remember the story of Ramanujacharya, uh, and the princess, uh, of princess was haunted. That time the princess was haunted by a ghost, Brahma Rakshasi. Uh, but that Brahma Rakshasi spoke and said that if Ramanujacharya comes and put his head on top of you, O princess, then I can leave from your body. And that's what happened. So when Ramanujacharya, many people went there. King invited many saintly people come and chant, auspicious sound vibrations or mantras to get rid of this, Brahma Rakshasi ghost, from the body of princess. But however, only when Ramanuja went and placed his foot on top of this princess, it's a beautiful story. You can see, actually. They made a wonderful cartoon movie of Ramanuja. You can see that. So yes, I don't know about Danavas coming, but yes, ghosts were definitely mentioned coming. But ultimately, you know, the fear personified is feared by Krishna's name, right? Yet bibheti swayam bhayam, right? Am I right, Manju Devi, Manjulada
Prabhu.
Mataji?
Yes, Prabhu. Yeah.
Yeah.
Noted.
So yes. So yeah. Yet bibheti swayam bhayam. Yet bibheti swayam bhayam. The personified fear, personified, himself is feared. God gets scared by the when God gets scared by the holy name of Krishna. So we have this weapon. We have to
Yes,
use that weapon.
true.
We have to we use that weapon to
Yeah.
drive away all the bad effects.
Yes, Prabhu. And the other thing I was trying to work out was that the Mount Sumeru is 100,000 yojana. So
Hmm.
it's 84,000 yojanas underneath and 16 up.
No, 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 no,
The
no.
other
The
way
other
around.
way. The other way
It's the other
around.
way around. Then how is it that there is 99,000 yojana below? Because when we see the diagram, we see the Mount Sumeru going right till the bottom. And then we have got these planets, which it's not. The
No, no,
planets
no.
which cover
The,
99,000 yojanas. So I
no.
couldn't relate the two 16,000 and
Okay,
99,000.
okay, okay, okay. See, um, the below the ground, it's only 16,000 yojanas, right?
Right,
You
right.
understand that bit?
Yeah,
84,000 on the ground.
yeah.
So below, then beneath that Sumeru,
Yeah.
anyways, first 16,000 within the ground is occupied by Sumeru.
Okay, Prabhu.
Okay.
Yeah.
Beneath that, the subterranean planets start to exist. I mean, Atala first comes, then Vitala, like that. So what I'm trying to say when I
Oh,
said,
okay, okay. I get it now. I got
yeah,
it. I got it,
yeah, yeah.
Prabhu.
So
Thank
to
you. I got it. It's
from
clarified.
Bhumandala, someone leaves their body. If they have to take into the court of Yamaraj, they have to travel 99,000 yojanas
Right. Yes.
altogether, surface,
I
from
get
the
it.
surface till the end.
Yes, Prabhu. I get it now. Thank you.
Yeah.
It's
So the depth,
clarified.
yeah, the depth of each subterranean planets is 10,000 yojanas, and then you have 500 yojanas of gap between them.
I got it, Prabhu. Thank you so much. Thank you for clarifying.
Yeah, no problem. Purna Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. I had two questions. So, why are the lower planets called Bilaswarga?
Good question. Yeah, so there are three Svargas altogether. So who would like to tell? There is this Divya Swarga. Divya Swarga is above the Bhuvarloka, beginning from sun, moon, etc. Okay, that is called Divya Swarga. Then you have Bhauma Swarga. Bhauma Swarga is it is on the surface of the Bhumandala. Except Bharatavarsha. All other divisions within the surface of Bhumandala are called Bhaumaswarga. The people, how long they live in Bhaumaswarga? Let's see, anybody remembered?
10,000
Bhaumaswarga,
years? 10,000
10,000
years?
years. Yes, you read this also before, 10,000 years. That is called Bhaumaswarga. So this is Bilaswarga. It's a subterranean heaven, it is called, because there is enjoyment there.
Okay.
There is enjoyment there. You see that there, they drink a particular, they take a particular drink, they consume a particular drink, and they don't have any wrinkles, any gray hair. They need not to dye their hair, like, they need not to worry about their skin. So they are continuously enjoying there. So that's why it is called Bilaswarga.
Okay. So, I think apart from us, everybody else is enjoying above and below.
True, everybody is enjoying. But the thing is, you see, you see that mm, we read the prayers of in Bharatavarsha. We read the prayers offered by demigods. The demigods are praying to the Lord that when there is little piety left, oh my Lord, please allow us to take birth in Bharatavarsha. This is their prayer.
Yes, Prabhuji, yes.
You remember? And
Yes.
I also mentioned, what is the use of, they say, what is the use of taking birth on Brahmaloka? They say that, sometimes you, to show the importance, uh, you sometimes glorify that planet. So they say that what is the use of taking birth on Brahmaloka? It is better I take birth in Bharatavarsha. So they glorify. It appears that we are thinking they are enjoying, but they are glorifying. They wanted to take birth. They wanted our position. And especially the Sankirtan movement. We don't know how fortunate we are to get connected to this Sankirtan movement. Yes, every time they pray that, my Lord, when there is little piety remaining, please allow us to take birth in Bharatavarsha, so that I can get the opportunity to associate with saintly people and chant the holy names of the Lord and engage in Sankirtana movement. We read these prayers. I hope others remember. Yes.
Yes, Prabhuji, I remember that. Yes, thank you. Prabhuji, one silly question. Is there any
No.
difference between Daitya and Danav?
Yeah. So I have to exactly find out. Diti's sons are called Daityas.
Okay.
Diti's. Danavas, they are demons also. Maybe sons of other wives of Kashyapa, probably. I have to find out. Yeah. So sons of Diti are called Daityas.
Oh, okay. No, I just thought it's some definition-wise difference, but okay,
Yeah.
it's they're carrying the name from the mums.
Yeah,
Uh,
that's how I understand. But yes, so we can explore further. Good that you ask. It's important.
no problem. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Okay, so yeah. So now everybody got let's when we are here, we will see the vertical structure. Maybe I'll put this slide, the vertical structure slide, in the mentorship group, in the SB group, so you can understand. So above the pole star, you have these 4 planets: Maharloka, Janaloka, Tapoloka, Satyaloka. Yes, Satyaloka is the where Lord Brahma lives. So sun rays do not pass through the pole star. You remember? Sun rays do not pass above the pole star, or sun rays do not go below the surface of Bhumandala. Okay? These 4 planets are self-illuminated. They don't require sun. And one day, their one day is 4.32 billion years in these 4 planets. Their one day is 4.32 billion years of hours. Yeah. So then you have Swargaloka, we have mentioned. So it goes, the highest point is pole star. This is where Dhrumaraj lives. The lowest planet is the sun. And this is Divya Swarga, we call it. And then below the sun, you have Bhuvarloka, places of enjoyment for Yakshas, Rakshasas, Siddhas, Charanas, Vidyadharas. And there is also Rahu. And then you have Bhuloka, and that is the surface of Bhumandala. And below the Bhumandala, you have 7 subterranean planets. This is the vertical structure. And below them, you have Pitruloka, where Yamaraj lives. Then you also have 28 hellish planets. Then this particular, the Bhumandala is held on top of Sankarshan. That is mentioned in the next chapter. Yeah. Okay, so you can also see, I'll show you that also. Yeah, this is the one. So you see 4 elephants are standing on top. You know what is that thing? Anybody remembers that black thing on top of 4 elephants are standing?
Loka Loka.
Super. And in this, this one here, you can see the 7 hellish, subterranean heavenly planets, and that is held by Ananta Shesha. And Ananta Shesha is or Sankarshan, Shesha, Sankarshan. Ananta Shesha in turn is supported by Kurma, and the Kurma is supported by Vayu. It is mentioned, but Bhagavatam says only, but other Puranas. So this is Brahma Vaivarta Purana, but in Bhagavatam we only get up to the Ananta Shesha, or Sankarshan is lifting or bearing the weight of this Bhumandala. He feels like, as if he is holding a mustard seed. Okay. We'll read a little more. Okay, so Purnamadaji, you can read the chapter summary, Glories of Lord Ananta.
Sure. Hare Krishna, thank you. The glories of Lord Ananta. In this chapter, Shukadev Goswami describes Ananta, the source of Lord Shiva. Lord Ananta, whose body is completely spiritual, resides at the root of planet Patal. He always lives in the core of Lord Shiva's heart, and he helps him destroy the universe. Ananta instructs Lord Shiva how to destroy the cosmos, and thus he is sometimes called Tamasi, or one who is in the mode of darkness. He is the original deity of material consciousness, and because he attracts all living entities, he is sometimes known as Sankarshan. The entire material world is situated on the hoods of Lord Shankarshan. From his forehead, he transmits to Lord Shiva the power to destroy this material world. Because Lord Shankarshan is an expansion of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Many devotees offer him prayers, and in the planetary system of Patal, all the Suras, Asuras, Gandharvas, Vidyadhars, and learned sages offer him their respectful obeisances. The Lord talks with them in a sweet voice. His bodily construction is completely spiritual and very, very beautiful. Anyone who hears about him from a proper spiritual master becomes free from all material conceptions of life. The entire material energy is working according to the plans of Anantadev. Therefore, we should regard him as the root cause of the material creation. There is no end to his strength, and no one can fully describe him, even with countless mouths. Therefore, he is called Ananta, unlimited. Being very merciful toward all living entities, he has exhibited his spiritual body. Shukadev Goswami describes the glories of Anantadev to Maharaj Parikshit in this way.
So here you can see approximately 240,000 miles below Patala, right? Patala is the last planet, right? Atala, Vitala, Sutala. So Patala is the last planet in the below subterranean heaven, but below 240,000 miles, quite a bit is there between Patala and the Ananta. 240,000 miles, which is so that is 30,000 yojanas. Yes, 30,000 yojanas. So that's where Lord Ananta lives, is incarnation of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And he's always in the transcendental position because he's worshipped by Lord Shiva. So when he wants to, destroy the entire universe, he becomes a little angry. And from that, is two eyebrows. Then from between his two eyebrows appears three-eyed Rudra carrying trident. This Rudra, who is known as Sankarshna, is an embodiment of 11 Rudras or incarnations of Lord Shiva. He appears in order to devastate the entire creation. So Lord Shiva's worshipable deity is Sankarshan. If you see in the Jambudvipa, prayers offered by the residents of Jambudvipa, in the center of Jambudvipa, you have Ilavruta Varsha. And in the Ilavruta, the Varsha, the only male person living is Lord Shiva, and his wife Bhavani lives. Bhavani is both are served by millions of maid servants, and is worshipable deity is Sankarshan. He always offers prayers, and many of these daughters of Naga snakes, they go and they worship the Lord by applying chandan or the pulp, sandalwood pulp, and ask the Lord for a good husband. So that is also mentioned here. So then we have this is it in this chapter really. Then we have at the end our Shukadeva Goswami talks about the hellish planets. So we can read probably. Manjurada Mataji, would you like to read the summary of this one?
Yes, Prabhu, I can. Thank you. A description of the hellish planets. The 26th chapter describes how a sinful man goes to different hells, where he is punished in various ways by the assistance of Yamaraj. As stated in Bhagavad Gita, the bewildered spirit soul, under the influence of the three modes of material nature, thinks himself to be the doer of activities which are actually carried out by the nature. The foolish person thinks he is independent of any law. He thinks there is no God or regulative principle, and that he can do whatever he likes. Thus he engages in different sinful activities, and as a result he is put into different hellish conditions, life after life, to be punished by the laws of nature. The basic principle of his suffering is that he foolishly thinks himself independent although he is strictly under the control of the laws of material nature. These laws act due to influence of the three modes of nature, and therefore each human being also works under three different types of influence. According to how he acts, he suffers different reactions in his next life or in this life. Religious persons act differently from atheists, and therefore they suffer different reactions.
Yeah, so yeah, we'll stop here because there are names of 28 Ls given by Shukadeva Goswami. So here it is Shukadeva Goswami in this particular chapter mentions that whether knowingly or unknowingly, if you commit sin, if you obey the laws of the God, then you are definitely be punishable. And especially if one knows it and one knowingly one commits sin, then the severity of that punishment is higher, right? No. But however, like it is mentioned, if if you are chanting, if you are following four regulative principles and chanting Hare Krishna mantra, then we can counteract, we can actually nullify the sinful, you know, sinful reactions can be from the past. Also, we can nullify. Yeah, but on the strength of the holy name, we can't commit sin. I mentioned this also when I was mentioning in the past. Sometimes Prabhupada mentions, Christians, they go to church on Sunday, and then then after after that, from Monday onwards, again they engage in, like, Prabhupada mentioned, but any religious person also, they can go to temple and do some ritualistic activity and then come out and then do the nonsense again. This is not the right thing. So but however, devotion, religion is different from devotion. Like, when one performs devotion, one's heart will be transformed. The transformation should take place. One should repent for their sinful actions. So, but the remedy is very simple for us, that follow the four regulative principles, chant Hare Krishna mantra, and the subtle body is taken. It is detailed in the third canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. Kapila Muni describes how this living entity leaves the body and goes to the hell. The detailed description is given, I think it is in the 29th or 30th chapter of the third canto. So after going through the hellish punishment, then going through all the lower species, because animals do not incur any karma, as I mentioned. They progress. They progress from lower body to higher body, means higher consciousness. And after passing through all the species of life, one gets to the human life. That is what mentioned in the third canto of Srimad Bhagavatam by Kapila Muni. But we are here, and we don't want to take that route again. Just imagine, to get the human form. So we are very, very fortunate, and we are here, and better we can use, and actually use this chance very nicely, and completely go back to the spiritual world. We can bypass. It is said, it is from this place you can go to spiritual world. And the details are given, but we may read one or two. We don't have time. Also, there are 28 Ls. So who goes where is detailed very much, very graphically in this chapter. Maybe we can read one paragraph just to get the gist of that. Manjura Mata, you can continue reading from here.
Thank you, Prabhu. A person who steals another's money, wife, or possessions is put into hell known as the Misra. A man who tricks someone and enjoys his wife is put into extremely hellish condition known as Andhat Mishra. A foolish person absorbed in bodily concept of life, who on the basis of these principles maintains himself or his wife and children by committing violence against other living entities, is put into the hell known as Raurava. There the animals he killed take birth as creatures called Rurus and cause great suffering for him. Those who kill different animals and birds and then cook them are put by the agents of Yamraj into the hell known as Kumpipaka, where they are boiled in oil. A person who kills a Brahmana is put into the hell known as Kala Sutra, where the land, perfectly level and made of copper, is as hot as an oven. The killer of the Brahmana burns in that land for many years. One who does not follow scriptural injunctions, but who does everything whimsically or follows some rascal, is put into the hell known as Asipatravana. A government official who poorly administers justice or who punishes an innocent man is taken by the assistance of Yamraj to the hell known as Shukra Mukha, where he is mercilessly beaten.
Maybe we can read it more as well.
Yeah. God has given advanced consciousness to human being, therefore he can feel the suffering and happiness of other living beings. The human being, bereft of his conscious, however, is prone to cause suffering for other living beings. The assistance of Yamraj puts such a person into hell, known as Andhakup, where he receives proper punishment from his victims. Any person who does not receive or feed a guest properly, but who personally enjoys eating, is put into the hell known as Grim Bhojana. There, an unlimited number of worms and insects continuously bite him.
We'll stop there, Mataji. So there is a graphic description of all these hells. So if you want, you can go and read. Devotees, when they read, their chanting gets better. So yeah, but we are very, very fortunate that we got this human form of life. And we know not only human form of life, but we got the opportunity to connect to this wonderful movement. So let's use this and take this wonderful opportunity to take full advantage of it. So with that, we will end there. And so Krishna willing, we will hopefully begin our 6th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam next Thursday. But thank you once again, dear devotees. Very grateful, to all of you for your continued attendance. Not a joke, as I mentioned. It's easy to attend one session here and there, but continues to attend Bhagavatam. Having that patience is not easy. Many people do not have that patience. They attend one here and there. That's it. But I humbly request, please continue to attend. You will learn a lot. Sometimes you think, what am I learning? But actually, when you are on your own, you don't get that motivation to read. But in a group, it becomes easy. Yeah. So this way, you will be able to learn a lot. Prabhupada had put so much effort to write this Bhagavatam and offer commentary. So please, may I give that 1 hour, Thursday, some or other, you make that 1 hour. Even if you miss, that's okay now and then. That's absolutely right. But most of the time, please try to attend it. I'm sure, this way together we can benefit. But once again, thank you so much. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha krupa sindhubhyayevacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Grandhara Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Nitai Gaura Premanandi.
Hari Hari Bol. Thank you,
Prabhuji, thank you for
Prabhuji.
giving such a wonderful class that people get attracted to come. So thank you so very much. Make it so interactive and so simply you explain everything to us.
Yes, I totally agree.
Thank you so much. Yeah. So please come, it is better. In 1 hour we can learn. Otherwise, and say for example, even for me also on my own, there is no motivation because there is session. It forces me to read. So we benefit each other. So this way. Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.